Welcome, 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 and this is JordangeVision. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel so far. I think I finally got the hang of this copyright thing, how to edit and cut these things so I don't have any trouble, basically. Yeah, it's been a tough process, but I think I finally got it. We are going to go into episode 5 of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction today. Been having a lot of fun with the show so far. Basically, we get 5 stories. We have to decide whether each story is either true or made up. I've been doing a lot better on the guessing lately. We'll see how this one goes. Episode 5. Let's do it. Before I get started, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and don't forget, reacting to art is sharing art. Channels like these benefit everyone from the viewers all the way up to the original creators themselves. Also a reminder, spoilers are likely, so if you haven't seen this episode and would like to, please feel free to click off and take care of that first. I'll be here when you get back. But for those of you who are sticking with me, here we go.
Welcome to the world of strange truth. A world where the real and the unreal blur into one.
I'm already in that
Much
world.
of the stories you're about to see are...
Will you be able to separate stories of truth from fantasy tonight?
Let's go.
To
Perfect
do
score
so,
today.
You must break through.
2 tables. The one on the left is obviously longer and thinner than the one on the right. Let's put this tablecloth on top of the right one. Fits perfectly. What makes
That
them
is
appear
nuts.
different is your perception. Tonight, we have several stories which are guaranteed to challenge your perception.
Blew my
Now
mind.
that you've been warned, many of us have experienced unhappiness in our jobs.
Not my current job, but
Sometimes
yes.
when we find ourselves trapped like that, we find some outside interest or activity to keep us going until we can get out and maybe start our own business where we don't have to answer to anyone. Secretary
That's what
Rebecca
YouTube is for
Stanton
me.
is trying to do.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've been good with my hands. And now every night I try to use that talent to get me out of the worst job I've ever had, for the worst boss that ever lived. I sell my dolls around the office building to friends and neighbors.
The dream girl.
Yes, everyone really seems to love them. No, thank you.
She ran the whole operation by herself, too?
Someday.
And how dare you even suggest that he travel, Coach? He is a star. This is too hot. Can't drink this.
Nicholas,
What?
Then wait a couple minutes for it to
What?
cool off.
Can't you see that I am on the phone? Get out of here. Scale plus 10.
Yeah, it must be a
Feel
peach
like a
working for
two-word
this guy.
to you. Drop it. Rebecca! Where's my coffee?
Where do you think your coffee is, dude? Tell him where I like to put his coffee.
Excuse me, a good time, but I'd love to order one of those for my girlfriend.
I think she'd really like it.
Guys in the mill will think your stuff is great.
Rebecca, coffee. Now.
Yeah, if you'd waited, maybe your hot coffee would be a little cooler by now.
Night, I kept my spirits up by working on a new doll. And to me, the new doll is always my favorite.
Antonio, I promise you I had no idea. You are absolutely right. This is an outrage. Rebecca!
So blame the
Yes,
coffee
Mr.
girl.
Nicholas?
I didn't tell you that I wanted you to take dictation. Did I tell her that I wanted her to take dictation? Doesn't receive
So
the
she was
airline
ready.
tickets. Where the hell I didn't have to spend half my time doing your job, then maybe I could make some money.
I don't
Excuse
see you
me,
fetching
Mr.
your own
Nicholas?
coffee, dude.
Antonio had to come. I want those tickets now.
The tickets are on my desk, sir. You asked me to hold on to them so that Antonio would come to the office and sign the contracts.
Are you calling me a liar?
Yes, I am.
What are you standing around here for? Get him the tickets.
Because you told me to a minute ago. God, I hate this guy.
Antonio, I'm so.
All my life, I'd been taught to have a good heart, to live by the golden rule, that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I still believe that. I
Me too,
believe it
girl, me
completely.
too.
But
Hey, you know what? I hope your doll business makes enough where you could get out of here.
thanks.
He knows.
Oh, I just got off the telephone with
No.
Vance Gilbert.
No, not
told
Vance
me.
Gilbert.
He's leaving me.
Did he say why?
What the hell do you care? He's not taking money out of your pocket. But you know, maybe I'll just dock your salary to make up for it. Prices around here.
But Mr.
pretty sure
Nicholas,
that's
I hardly
illegal.
make enough as it is.
Get out of here.
I couldn't wait to go home and finish my new doll. I named it after Mr. Nicholas.
Oh, is it a voodoo?
That's a tradition in voodoo.
Oh, yeah. I can see where this is going now. Oh, and it
Suddenly,
works.
I didn't care.
The power of the
Is
voodoo
that the end of the
doll has
story?
been believed by various cults. Certainly could have been a coincidence that her boss was seized by that excruciating pain.
I mean, it could have been, yeah.
Then again, I'm really too old to be playing with dolls.
So let's see. There wasn't really much to that story, you know. Obviously, the situation she had with her boss is very, very common. It's more common than it should be. So we really only got that little bit in the end about the voodoo. Uh, so I guess that's what we're deciding whether it's true or not. I don't see any reason, she wishes some harm on her boss and maybe something happens. So, it's true, he loses his biggest client and, all of a sudden he gets this phantom pain in his arm. Who knows exactly how it happened, whether it was the doll or whatever. Since there really isn't much to the story, it was a great story about, a woman having trouble with her boss, and then the real supernatural part is just, for a couple of seconds at the end. But because of that, I think I'm going to mark this as true. So, yeah, let's get to story number 2.
As children, before we form a friendship with another human being, we often bond with an inanimate object. Take
Yep.
Kevin Birch. He was a sickly child who didn't have a lot of friends. In fact, he
Sickly.
only had one. He called him Super Bear.
Okay.
It wasn't easy being Kevin's older sister. As cute as he just wasn't strong like other boys his age.
Like, was
It
he
was
actually a
hard
sick
to act
kid?
brave and feel. Before Mom had the auto accident, she gave Kevin
Mom
a
died
funny
too?
little stuffed animal called Super Bear. After she died, I never saw him without it.
Look, Amanda,
that's true.
Super Bear's here. He needs our help to fight the monsters who captured the backyard.
I'm sorry, kiddo. I can't today.
Please.
I know your mission is dangerous, but I also know that you and Super Bear are smart enough and strong enough to beat those monsters yourselves.
Go get those monsters, Kevin.
Come on, sport, we gotta go.
Another
Oh,
doctor?
where are they going? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was putting a lot of stress on everyone, and I knew I should have been kinder, especially if I would have known it was going to be Kevin's last night in our house.
Kevin.
Oh, no.
Kevin.
Come on, buddy, let's go to bed, huh?
Daddy, can you tell me a story?
Can I tell you a story? Yeah, I'll tell you a story, sport. Come on.
3 bears?
Bear.
I hated what I was thinking. Why is Kevin always the center of attention?
And the king and the queen proclaimed a national holiday, and the people were so happy, there was dancing in the streets.
And everyone ate candy.
Gotta have the candy.
Everyone.
The next day, when I came home from school, all my worst fears came true.
Oh,
Our neighbor,
no.
Mrs. Sanders, was waiting for me.
Kevin's collapsed, honey. He's in the hospital. Your dad asked me to take you there.
Oh, jeez. This is a tough one. I kind of think I know where it's going, but this sucks right now.
When I got to the hospital, I found Dad was sitting in a trance over Kevin's bed. One look at his face, and I knew it was over.
Do we even know what he had?
Suddenly, I saw Super Bear in the corner. Somehow, this feeling came over me. Super Bear and Kevin had to be together.
Dad, we have to go to the hospital. We have to see Kevin.
To find out what was wrong, the doctors wanted to do an autopsy.
No! No! We have to go now! We have to go! We have to go now!
I must have sounded hysterical, but I knew what I was doing.
That's on
Kevin
that feeling,
and
girl.
Super Bear had never been separated in life. I wanted Kevin to have him, even in death.
Oh, man.
All
Is
I
the bear
wanted
actually
to
going
do
to save
was
him?
get to Kevin's. Dad finally took over and asked a nurse where they had taken Kevin's body. She pointed in the direction of the morgue. That's where they'd be performing the autopsy. I was running out of time.
I mean, you
had
kind of
to get
are.
Kevin that bear.
If there's a chance of the bear saving him, then you got to get to him before they start cutting him up.
I'm the father. Can we have a moment, please?
Work. Yep. Yep, he's moving his hand. The bear brought him back.
Nurse? Nurse!
It's incredible.
The doctors had no explanation for what happened, but we really didn't care. We had Kevin back.
Or maybe he wasn't really dead at all. Maybe an attending physician
probably it.
misread some vital sign and pronounced him dead too soon.
Yeah, like I said, it does happen, you know, that maybe, you know, they pronounced him dead prematurely and maybe he wasn't actually dead. And it is a little weird that it happened like right as soon as he got the bear, but that is the kind of thing that does happen. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I'm kind of inclined to believe this is true too. So I think that's what I'm going to mark down. Remember in the last episode, there were like 4 true ones, so like maybe they're going to shock us with one episode and maybe they're all true, so we'll see. Maybe, I don't know if it's this one, but yeah, we got 3 more stories to go, so let's see.
For most of us, this door is a sign of our times. Notice the different security locks designed to keep unwanted visitors out. This one slides.
There's one
This
stacked
bolts.
door.
And this...
Oh, no, but that's Rappin' Granny from Wedding Singer. Recognized her name.
I had a key to Aunt Connie's apartment, so I could basically come and go as I pleased. But the lock was so weak I didn't even use the key that day. I was happy she wasn't home, though, because there was something I needed to take care of, and I needed time alone in her apartment to do it. And I
What you
worried
doing,
that
big
the
guy?
neighborhood she lived in was getting...
Oh, who's that? Oh, no, it's her.
Aunt Connie came home a few minutes later, and I knew she would be happy to see me. I was her favorite.
Surprise!
She had become almost childlike, in a lovable way.
Yeah, that can happen to old people sometime.
When I...
Oh, what are you doing here?
I had a few minutes to kill, so I thought I'd come by and see you.
But that's why I gave you a key, dear. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks, Aunt Connie.
Now, let me fix you some lunch.
That'd be great.
Ooh, free lunch.
You need a new lock on your front door. I used the opportunity to hide my little secret. That package could be the ticket to one of those nice, safe senior communities.
Is it a wad of money or something?
I don't remember who recommended the locksmith company to me. You're gonna be safe now, Aunt Connie. The locksmith treated Aunt Connie like she was a little child. She always brought that out in people.
Yeah.
Now, you're sure this is the safest lock?
Yes, ma'am. No one is going to come through this door to hurt you. I guarantee it.
Somehow I think he's gonna do it.
Memorable words.
You'll have nothing to worry about now, Mrs. Howard.
I don't trust that guy.
The key sure didn't look like anything special, but it turned out to be the key to a mystery I still don't understand. The witnesses said that she came home her usual way, and of course, she never noticed that she was being watched. When the man
Watching an
saw
old
her
lady.
enter the building, he must have... An old lady, home alone. What could be easier?
I guess thieves.
On the way up, he asked someone where the old lady's apartment was. He said he had a delivery for her.
Tell that shit to strangers?
And Connie would surely have opened the door. Why not? She always did. But that was before the special lock.
That's who it is.
Please help me. It's a matter of life and death.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Please,
The door won't open.
please, let me in. I need your help.
Do you want me to call the police?
No, I'll try another apartment.
Oh, is the lock like not working so it like saves her from the guy coming
For
in?
some reason, the lock wouldn't budge. But as soon as the man left, Aunt Connie tried it again, and the strangest thing happened. This time, it opened easily.
Oh. Did he get someone else?
Police, open up. Could you positively identify this man as the man who was outside your door today?
My door wouldn't open.
Well, that's a good thing, because he's been robbing people their social security checks.
Oh, my.
And Aunt Connie had another uninvited visitor.
Oh, this happens again?
Coming. Coming.
This guy looks shady.
Hello.
Check the wiring in your apartment.
And the lock's not gonna work.
Ooh, can't get the lock to turn. Ooh. Can you come back later?
And again, this guy's a criminal probably.
the number for forever safe lock and key.
Oh, don't tell me.
No? You're sure you have no
The
listing?
company doesn't exist?
It was a Tuesday when I called Aunt Connie. Are you gonna be there long? Going anywhere today?
Make her do it, man.
Yo,
Oh.
maybe I can stop by later.
You got 5 minutes, you're a dead man.
What's going on?
Sweat.
What has he gotten
I
himself
was in
into?
a jam. Aunt Connie, it's me, Brad.
Okay, honey.
I needed to get my package and get out.
But the lock won't turn.
What did you do? Just open the door.
I'm trying.
No one is going to get through this door to harm you. I guarantee it.
Connie!
She doesn't think Brad's a criminal now, too.
Oh, why me?
Please let me in.
Why would you want to hurt me?
I found out later that the drug dealers I was involved with were out to get her. They thought I had told her their names. I had to disappear for a while. But as long as she had that lock on the door, Aunt Connie would be forever safe.
Why wouldn't the lock open when evil was outside the door? Was it simply the failing coordination of a woman growing older, or was it Connie's
could
own
be.
wise instinct?
There were a lot of details in that one. Yeah. At first it kind of reminded me of that story earlier with the electric chair. Where, how it didn't work when, it was going to kill him because he ended up being innocent. Kind of the same deal, where the door wouldn't open when there was danger outside. Maybe it's even the same story, like reconstructed, I don't know. But, like, one time, the door protecting her, like, maybe it was a coincidence, but, a couple of times, and, just the door doing that every single time is a little weird. It seems far-fetched to me. I think I'm going to mark this one down as fiction. Because if it happened once, a lot of these stories, kind of have these things where, something crazy happens once and it saves someone. But, for this to happen 3 times, like at exactly the right time, it's just weird. Yeah, so I'm marking it as fiction. Story number 4. Let's get it.
The next story involves an ill-fated love revenge and things that go bump in the night. And as you'll see at the conclusion of our story, Romeo and Juliet were never like this. Just ask the neighbors.
I'm no busybody, but when 2 kids are carrying on in broad daylight, how can you help but look? Especially when you live next door.
I'm just kissing.
You're welcome.
Not doing anything too crazy out in broad daylight.
Tiffany was only 16 years old, and it was no secret her father didn't like that young man with the piercing eyes.
Yeah.
Daddy, just give me a ride home from the library.
I don't care. When I ask you to do something, I expect you to listen.
Here we go again.
What's wrong with the guy?
I think I have reason to be concerned when my daughter's seeing a criminal.
He is not a criminal.
He stole a car.
That was like 3 years ago, so he made a mistake.
Yeah, people
It's not like he's done
rehabilitate.
anything wrong since then.
That night, there would be sounds coming from the Wilson house that the whole neighborhood would hear.
What was that?
Yeah, what is that?
Sounds like it's coming from your room.
What's going on?
Stay there. I'm going to check it out.
Like the stereo just started playing or whatever?
Nothing would turn off. I had to unplug everything in your room.
Didn't seem like you were gone
Maybe it
long.
was just a short.
The Wilsons had a habit of keeping their windows open, and the sound carried around that place, so I couldn't help hearing something else a few nights later.
What?
Sitting there watching me.
Honey, you must have been dreaming.
Something's happening here, and I'm scared.
So there's a ghost in the house?
I was determined to find out what was going on there, and to tell her what I knew about that creepy old house.
Samantha!
Some history?
Have you ever heard of anything strange happening at our house? Like weird noises or sounds?
After this before you bought it.
A woman, Mildred Bennett, and her son Stuart lived up there in that room.
Okay.
It's Tiffany's room. He had jet black hair and the most beautiful eyes. They almost glowed. There wasn't a woman alive who wouldn't turn around when Stuart Bennett walked by.
Sounds like
A little
Tiffany's
crushing, Stuart.
boyfriend.
Well, he had the bad luck to fall in love with the banker's daughter. The banker hated Stuart Bennett. He did everything in his power to keep them apart.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Ran Stuart and his mother out of town. But Stuart swore he'd get revenge. One night,
Okay.
he turned and he set the house on fire. My mother
This
and I
house?
got here just as he was shot by the police. He
Okay.
died right there on those steps.
Shot him just for setting the house on fire? I mean, I know it's a crime, but
Are you saying we're wanted by Stuart Bennett?
I'm not trying
that's
to scare
exactly
you.
what I'm saying, girl.
It's just an old story. Yeah.
Maybe Stuart's got a bit of a crush on Tiffany.
guess what Mrs. Was there a connection somehow between Tiffany's boyfriend Tom and the ghost of Stuart Bennett? I happened to
Maybe.
be up at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Do you realize what time it is? You are never to see this boy again.
Don't bother. Your dad's out of control. I'm gone.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that can ruin a good relationship.
One night, I heard a prowler. I called 911 and then waited for the police to come. I couldn't believe it. It was almost as if Stuart Bennett was reincarnated and trying to set the house on fire again.
Freeze!
Okay.
Don't shoot. Officer, I'm the woman who called you.
Stay back. No one needs to get hurt. Now, turn around. Slowly.
Is it Tom?
Oh my God.
It's Tiffany. Is Stuart possessing her?
Tiffany really inhabited by the soul of Stuart Bennett? And if she was simply a troubled teenager trying to exact revenge against her father, then how do you explain those glowing eyes? And by the way, there are people who say Tiffany is all grown up now with teenagers of her own. These same people also say she's the strictest parent in town. Of course,
First of all, that last thing James said, I don't know. Somehow I don't believe that, Tiffany would grow up to be the strictest parent in town after all that. After, having the strictest parent in town, kind of ruin a relationship. Yeah, it's a weird story, man. Like, well, it was Tiffany's mom that heard the story about the arson. Like Tiffany wasn't there when that story was being told, so I don't know if she even knows. But, yeah, it's weird that, possessed or not, that she would even try to burn down her own house. Yeah, this is a tough one for me to believe. Again, it's another one of those where I wouldn't be surprised if somehow it was true, but I think it's just too weird. I'm going to mark it as false. Okay, we got one more. Let's do it.
imagine a dark train platform on a chilly March night over 100 years ago. A distinguished actor arrives at this Jersey City railway station. He's just finished a performance of Hamlet at New York's Winter Garden Theater. As he joins the crowds, pushing and shoving on the platform, he notices a young college student out of the corner of his eye. And suddenly the boy is jostled violently and pushed towards the edge of the platform. He falls onto the tracks between the two cars, where the actor tries to alert the engineer. The train has already started to move. So quickly, the actor rushes to the edge of the platform, reaches down, and with all his might, pulls the young student to safety. The actor turns out to be the brother of another actor, one who's soon to become extremely famous. And the college student turns out to be the son of a prominent American politician. Well, in less than 3 weeks' time, the actor's brother would kill the college student's father. For the actor was Edwin Booth, brother of John Wilkes Booth.
Okay.
And the student was Robert Lincoln, son of President Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. I guess we're getting into that right now, but I think I've heard that story, actually, so this might be a little unfair, but I think that story is true. I think I've actually heard it before. So not much to discuss, really. Like, I think I have actually heard that that happened, so I'm going to mark that one down as true. So that's probably a freebie, but, the way that some of the early ones went, I think I deserve a freebie. So that was the 5th story, and we'll see how we did in all 5 of these. Let's go.
Started tonight's show with the doll maker who found her own method of revenge.
So I said this one was true.
Are you calling me a liar?
You're a liar, but I said this story was true.
A fraudulent tale that never took place? That's exactly right. It's false.
Oh, got it wrong. It was fiction.
And what about the story of little Kevin, who seemed to be brought back to life by his favorite toy, Super Bear?
I said this one was true as well. Tell me this one's true.
Nurse?
It's impossible, you say? Not this time. A story like this did take place.
Okay, got that one
And
right.
how did you judge the plot of the mysterious lock that somehow protected the aging Aunt Connie?
I said this one was false. The story was a little too weird.
But the lock won't.
Now, this one never could have happened, right? Wrong. It did happen.
Crazy.
And
So
what
that's
did you
wrong.
think about the tale of the teenage girl whose life included a troubled boyfriend and a house with a terrible curse?
Okay, so I said this one was false. It was her possessed by the ghost.
Oh my god, Stuart Bennett all over again.
Could a story like this be true? Not this time.
Got that
It's a
right.
fraud. And what about the story I told tonight? Was it inspired by actual events? Yes, it was. So,
I knew
were
that
you
one,
able
though.
to spot the difference in fiction this
So
evening?
another 3 out of 5.
3 of our stories were.
Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Another 3 out of 5. Got the easy one at the end. It was maybe a little unfair, but yeah, I'll take it. So I am getting better at this guessing thing. There's one more episode in the first season of Beyond Belief. There was only 6 episodes, and then there's more. I think there's a new host later. I think James Brolin eventually leaves the show, and someone else takes over, but I don't know if that happens after the first season, so next episode might be the last one with James Brolin, but we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, thank you for joining me for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out my sports vlogging channel, Jordan's Vlogs. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.